From above, everything looks different. Famous places suddenly don't feel so obvious. You've seen them before, but can you recognize them like this? 20 landmarks. One chance to prove it. Let's begin. Guess the landmark. All right, starting easy. This iconic landmark stands on an island and has welcomed millions arriving by sea. Can you recognize it from above? Come on, this one should feel very familiar. That was the Statue of Liberty in New York City, New York. A massive green rectangle surrounded by dense city blocks, one of the most famous urban parks in the world. Do you know this one? You've definitely seen this shape before. That was Central Park in New York City. A long suspension bridge cutting across the water, instantly recognizable from above. Can you name this landmark? Look closely at that color and shape. That was the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, California. This building has a very specific geometric shape. 5 sides, perfectly symmetrical. Do you know where this is? The shape gives it away, if you know it. That was the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. A famous residence with a large lawn and symmetrical design, located in the heart of the US Capitol. Can you recognize it? You've seen this one in the news 1,000 times. That was the White House in Washington, D.C. A long stretch of lights, hotels, and entertainment in the middle of the desert. Can you guess this location from above? It doesn't look like much until night falls. That was the Las Vegas Strip in Las Vegas, Nevada. Carved into a mountainside, this landmark features 4 presidential faces. Can you identify it from this angle? This one's more obvious from the ground. That was Mount Rushmore in Keystone, South Dakota. An isolated island with a historic prison, surrounded by cold water. Do you recognize this place? Not the easiest one, unless you know the story. That was Alcatraz Island in San Francisco, California. A massive entertainment complex with parks, lakes, and roads forming a unique layout. Can you guess where this is? This one's huge. Look at the scale. That was Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. A massive concrete structure holding back a huge body of water in the desert. Can you recognize this landmark? That contrast between water and desert is a big clue. That was the Hoover Dam on the border of Nevada and Arizona. A massive waterfall right on the border between 2 countries with a very distinct curved shape from above. Can you recognize it? That curve should give it away, if you've seen it. That was Niagara Falls, New York. A huge, natural formation carved over millions of years, stretching across the desert with deep ridges and shadows. Do you know this one? This one is more about texture than shape. That was the Grand Canyon in Arizona. A large domed building at the center of a perfectly planned city layout. Can you recognize this political landmark? Look at the symmetry around it. That was the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. A pier stretching into the ocean with rides and structures clearly visible from above. Do you recognize this coastal spot? The ocean gives you a big hint here. That was Santa Monica Pier in Santa Monica, California. A long pier extending into a large lake surrounded by a dense city skyline. Can you name this location? Freshwater, not ocean, that matters. That was Navy Pier in Chicago, Illinois. A deep blue lake surrounded by mountains with a very clean, almost perfect shape. Do you recognize it from above? The color is the giveaway here. That was Lake Tahoe on the border of California and Nevada. A futuristic tower with a circular top standing out among city buildings. Can you spot this landmark? It's small, but very recognizable. That was the Space Needle in Seattle, Washington. A dense intersection filled with screens and lights, forming a unique shape within the city grid. Do you know this place? This one's chaos, but organized chaos. That was Times Square in New York City. A massive airport with a very unusual runway layout, forming distinct angles from above. Can you recognize it? Those runways are not random. That was Denver International Airport in Denver, Colorado. A huge rectangular building with a theme park inside, clearly visible from above. Do you know this landmark? It's way bigger than a normal mall. That was the Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota. How many did you get right? Did you make it all the way to 20? Let me know your score. And if you enjoyed this, subscribe. I'll see you in the next challenge.